Sometimes there's pretense. Sometimes there are people that intellectualize about events or suppose that they would have this response or they would do this, or suppose that they understand fully what it is that's going on in a community. But these images are truer. They're authentic voices.
Kranzberg has been the most welcoming and gracious host. They're a good example of how you can partner with somebody and just have the best of results. Issues of class and race and those kind of political distinctions that kind of push people apart. And the artwork here addresses kind of common experiences that we have all shared in terms of the loss of people we love and the aspirations for things to be better in the future. Taking it to the streets, at the Gallery 210 installation, that's 11 artists. This installation here at the Kranzberg is to a certain extent an extension of the exhibit up at Gallery 210. The title of this is Taking It to the Streets, Presents Alive on the Streets. And we've curated 4 artists and asked them to add additional work to this overall program. This is just contemporary art that is addressing social and political issues, but it doesn't necessarily mean it can be pigeonholed to those very narrow categories. These are in the service of telling a greater truth and not in the service of anything but the artists and their own truth.
I'm a disabled vet. I have residuals of a traumatic brain injury. And so one of the ways I make sense of everything is through my art. Drawing and painting helps me work things out. I live in Northwood, just like right there on the border of Ferguson. So I was there watching everything that was happening, and I was trying to work on other things and I couldn't get anything done. Every face I did was getting contorted and angry and stuff, and it was just reflecting where I was at. It's everything. It's the hurt, it's the pain. I have some people who are positive spokespeople who are still alive and still here, still doing things, mixed in with paying tribute to those who aren't with us. There's been a series that I've been working on that I called Fade to Black. I start with the black background or black canvas and then put just enough information to see the individual. And I did that with the children because I want it to be where the person has to look and concentrate and see what's there, because that's what we haven't been doing. It's the same old song. I mean, we've had the civil rights movement, and then before that, there's been this steady cry of civil rights, housing equality, job equality, police brutality. I purposely wanted to get in people's face. If you're not disturbed, then that means it's because you're already aware of the problem and you're doing something. If it does disturb you, it's probably because you haven't been paying attention.
Sticky notes are a device, a tool, a canvas that we often use to flesh out ideas, to brainstorm, to map how things are working in our heads for the larger ideas that we want to create. The Sticky Notes Itself project started April 1st, 2015, after seeing other activists and other organizers being trolled and bullied online on Twitter. And I wrote a note to myself. It simply said, "Do right by people." And that led to all of these other thoughts and all of these other notes that were to myself, but at the same time to other activists and to other organizers. For my practice, even as a designer, my team uses what we call common cultural denominators as ways of connecting people. And that includes food, it includes arts, it includes public space, and all of these things that are familiar to people despite our differences. And for me, Sticky Notes is that type of medium. In the Gallery 210 space, there's a wall of only the black notes from the Sticky Notes Itself project, and there's also a video installation from moments on the ground. Those clips includes my first night of being out in Ferguson and the trauma. Following that clip, there are all of these moments of story circles, sharing our own ways of navigating towards being collectively in this movement. In this extension of the Taking It to the Streets exhibition, there's also an interactive piece where attendees in the gallery space can actually participate and contribute notes themselves. People can write a note to themselves, or write a note to the movement, write a note to the city that they live in, this larger world, and share that. My thoughts and my feelings and my experiences are not just for myself, but also to share in fellowship and community with so many others who are also expressing themselves in this way.